Hare Krishna, 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram, Hare Ranga. So we're going to continue on with the Chaturjati practice today, Das Pahira Taal. I've chucked in a couple variations for Lofa Taal here as well, just for fun. I just wrote them down just because I was like, may as well put a little bit in there. We've got a whole separate section for Lofa that we haven't really started yet, but at some point we'll get to the other Taals as well and D-high structures and everything like that. So this first one is quite a nice mantra, quite advanced on your bottom hand here for your Bayan or your fear side. Fear, Bayan, Dayan. Here we've got the mercy. Generally in Mridanga, you want to become more proficient on the top end. We focus so much in ISKCON on the bottom end, but the bottom end is for demons and to scare off, unsavory entities per se. So this heavy hitting bottom end stuff isn't really what we want. We always want the top end to be pointed up a little bit and tuned nicely, nice Mridanga, and having that nice merciful sound being radiated out towards everyone and all the living entities. But in saying that, you need to, work on your speed and proficiency on the bottom end as well in order to keep up with your top hand as it progresses. You also need some practices to keep this hand nice and fluid. So this one's probably one of the best ones that I learned from Bablu Peru. I've rewritten it in a different wording, and also in Taal as well, he would give this in a form that wasn't useful in any way for kirtan. So here we've got a different version of it that can be sung to and used in kirtan, but is going to produce the same hand benefits as well. So we're going nake, nak, nake, nake, Nakgedhage. So this is really intense on your bottom hand here because you have to play Nakgedhage. Now when you come from this nak, you want to go straight into a very powerful 4 fingers ta. Nakgedhage, 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 nakgedhage. Bottom end, nakgedhage. See that? Nakgedhage, nakgedhage. So you have to get quick here. Nakgedhage, deregena. So we've already learned deregena, right? Deregena, takataka. So now we're adding this Dhage, which is what you play for Dhage, Dhage, right? Nakgedhage, deregena. So let's just practice that. Nakgedhage, deregena. Makes a nice sound. You see how the finger kind of bounces off? You're hitting in between in that little shadowy part there. You're not hitting here. You're not hitting right on this skin. You're hitting actually between, right on the edge of the clay to create that nice sound. You need a good mridanga, and it needs to be tuned and pulled tight in order to create that sound. And let's see here. So you have to start the knock here. You're not flowing into like te knock. You don't have that flow. You're starting straight off. So you have to get this flick, you see? Straight into the dog. Nakgedhage, dere, gena. So you play that twice. Nakgedhage, deregena, nakgedhage, deregena. Then we have the genetere, gena, which we're familiar with. Genetere, genata, space. Genetere, genata, takatake. So let's just practice that. Genetere, gena. Genetere, genata. genetere, genata, takatake, tereketa. Genetere, genata, takatake. Genetere, genata, takatake, teregena. Genetere, genata, takatake, so you can play like that. You can also extend that, you know. So that's nice as well. I didn't write that down. That just came to me there, but that's also another version. So the thing is that you want to be able to look at these mantras and see all the different pieces. So I pulled out some Lofa Taal mantras here from this as well when I was looking at. We just pulled this mantra out here as well. Genata, 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 takataka, tedhedhin. Right, so you go Nakgedhage, dheregena, nakatake, genata, genataka, genata, takataka, tereketa, genataka, genata, genataka, genata, genataka, takataka. If you want to extend the mantra even twice as long and have a guru that is extending, and then your lagu is even more extended as well. So you could go Nakgedhage, dheregena, Nakgedhage, dheregena, gena, deregena, ta, taketake, tereketa, gena, deregena, ta, gena, deregena, ta. Right? Hare Krishna. So you can do like that and extend it. Obviously, you can play it much faster than that, but that's just for practicing. So different ideas. You can also just practice the nakdhin, nakatake, dheregena sound as well. So you want to get proficient at each piece there so that your bottom hand, you're going to find that your bottom hand will not be able to keep up to your top hand if it's more developed. So it will take a lot of time. It's taken me, I don't know, 8 years now to be able to play this mantra and have the bottom hand actually keep up with the top hand. So it is a long endeavor and a lot of practice, but this just allows you to start playing more complex kirtan mantras, and when your top hand's going, your bottom hand's also able to keep up very easily, and you're not struggling, you know. You're not struggling to hit the duggies on the bottom and different things like that. Lots of different mantras. So we've got Nakgedhage, deregena, Nakgedhage, deregena, gena, deregena, taketake, tereketa. Lagu now. Nakatake, tereketa, nakatake, tereketa, genetere, genata, taketake, tereketa. So now is the lagu closed. Nakka, closed, 5 fingers closed. Nakatake, tereketa, nakatake, tereketa, genetere, genata, takatake. Same mantra, just closed now. Nakgedhage. But see here, this one's easier, right? Because you've just got nakataka. Before we've got Nakgedhage, so you have to hit it 3 times there. Now you're only hitting it 2, nakataka. So the lagu is easier than the guru by a long shot here. Nakatake, nakatake, tere. Really focus on getting your naks nice as well. We've given, I think, I gave some videos before to practice your naks on a simpler version of a mantra, and yeah, like everything, you want to perfect each hit so that you have it and it's nice and crisp. You know, you see a lot of people playing naks and they have no idea what they're doing. It doesn't sound nice. They're not hitting the mridanga in the right spot. And it's just a shame because it's not super difficult if you know what you're doing. You take a little instruction. So nakatake, tereketa, nakatake, tereketa, genetere, so the whole thing. Nakgedhage, dheregena, nakgedhage, deregena, genetere, genata, takataka. Nakatake, teregena, nakatake, tereketa, genetere, nakatake, deregena, nakatake, deregena, genetere, genata, so you want to be proficient at this. Very nice mantra. And it can be used anywhere, just in this version here, you know. Hare Krishna, so, you know, you can switch it up, go from double to single speed, throw in different dhas, different things. Lots of cool stuff that you can do. There's a really fun mantra that you can use, not when it's super, super fast, especially if your bottom hand's not proficient, but it's a good kind of medium speed, you know, bit of a, you know, like kind of like a rela, but not really because you're not fingering, but it just gives that kind of trained feel. You're just driving the kirtan with something that's not a little too much structured or regimented. You have the ability to go, you know, get so that's a really nice version of it. So let's look at the couple things I just pulled out of here as well for Lofa Taal. So Lofa Taal, now we're going dheregena, right? Dhagedere, takatake, dhagedere, so this is how you take a proper guru and lagu here, without cheating. Dhagedere, 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 right? So Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare so it can be fast. You can use it at the end there where they're usually just playing like, you know, so all these extended versions that they use at the end in Lofa Taal, you can use this. So like that. Lots of different things. Another one I pulled out here is Nakgedhage deregena. So this is a different. So here, so this one, you know, if you're playing like this, Hare Krishna, so you have dhagedere, gena, taka, single speed. If it's in double speed, then it becomes dhagedere in one mantra, genataka in the second mantra, tereketa in the third mantra. Dhage, right? Dhage. Dhagedere, gena, takatake, dhagedere, gena, taketake, dhagedere, gena, takatake, dhagedere, gena, takatake. See, the gena becomes that second mantra then as it compresses, and you're having 3. So you will play it twice through for your 6 mantras. This other one's formulated differently. So now we have Nakgedhage. Well, it's the same thing, but so Nakgedhage, deregena, nakatake, tereketa. So Nakgedhage, deregena, Taals, you just have to formulate them, and we'll show you the secret of how to formulate anything to fit any Taal structure. It becomes quite easy. Nakgedhage, deregena, dheregena, nakatake, tereketa. So we've tamed a Nakgedhage, deregena. That's 4. Now we need 6, right? So you just add 2 more. Deregena. There's no good way here to break it up differently because we have chatur. We're not in tisra. Tisra is easier to break things up. So here, if you have a Nakgedhage dheregena, the best way to make it into a Lofa Taal mantra is to double up the dheregena, so you get 6, right? Because you can't really break up Nakgedhage de. You can't go nakadhaga, nakadhag, like you can, but it's hard. Nakgedhage dheregena is what we're learning. It's the core mantra, so you just add dheregena at the end. Nakgedhage dheregena. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. Wait, what am I playing here? Hare Krishna, Hare Nakgedhage dheregena. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, and see that nice, like the bottom end is so different. Like you're never ever gonna hear anyone playing a bottom end like that. We've got the Nakgedhage dheregena. There's so much breadth to the mantra. So many times you're hitting it. Really beautiful. I just pulled that out 2 seconds ago, so I've never actually even played that before. So I'm not going to try to get too fancy with it. That's your guys' job. I'm just here to facilitate the learning of the mantras. But yeah, so that's all the intricacies there of the Nakgedhage deregenas. In terms of the bottom end, again, like if you watch the previous videos, we'll explain, how the hand's supposed to be. But if you're trying to play from your elbow and very rigid and down, if you're trying to play down here like this, it's not going to happen. So let's see. Let's just have a little peek, see of what this looks like from the bottom. So, so you see this, agility. So you're at that 45 and the hand is able to freely, we're not, see the elbow. The elbow is not, we're not moving from the elbow. It's actually just an impetus from the wrist, just as you build this strength in your tendons and ligaments in your top hand. So that's how you want to get it to. So let's switch back around. If I was like super professional, I'd have multiple cameras and editing and stuff, but I do not have the time for that at the moment, unfortunately. So this is how we have to do it. So next mantra is technically a Dhage, and it would be a 16 mantra Dhage starting after the Hare Krishna, starting at Hare Rama. But it's been restructured as usual and given a new form and a little bit new writing. And Bablu Prabhu gave this to me to strengthen my hand, because playing Nakgedhage deregena was almost impossible at the start. So I used to practice this a lot to build that bottom hand agility. And it's not an easy mantra either. I haven't played any of these in a long time, so bear with me here. So we have Dhinitini, Dhinitini, dhagetini, Dhinitini. So this is similar to the Dhinitini, Dhinitini, dhagetini, Dhinitake, tere, keta. Okay, we have that version that we're familiar with. That's an easier version. So now we're going Dhinitini, dhagetini. Let's see. Dhinitini, dhagetini, dhageta, dhagetadini. Triplet here. Dhageta, dhagetadini, right? Dhageta 3, dhageta 3, and then tini. So this is really beautiful. Dhageta, dhagetadini, dhageta, dhageta. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. So you can use this Dhageta, dhagetadini, dhageta, dhagetadini, all these different patterns. For first part, Dhinitini, dhagetini, dhagetini, dhagetini again. So Dhinitini, dhagetini, dhagetini. That is a bold jati of tisra, tisra, and chatur, right? And then dhagetini, dhinitake, tereketa, getakgeta. So that's the same pattern that we're familiar with from the other dhis, or if you've seen these dhis played, then you're familiar. If you're a more advanced player. Dhinitini, dhagetini, 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 dhinitake, tereketa, getakgeta. So that's the first part. Dhinitini, dhagetini, dhagetini, dhagetini. So that's how you play the first part. Dhinitini, dhagetini, dhagetini, dhagetini. Right? Dhagetini, dhinitake, tereketa, getakgeta. Getakgeta. Slap it. Getakgeta. Right? Tereketa, getakgeta. You always tereketa, getakgeta. Second part. This would be an isolated dhi if it didn't have the, whatever it is, tukar or mukar, I can't remember at the moment, at the start, when it's isolated, decoration. So now we have, this would be just at the Rama, nak-dhin, de, so nak-dhin, right? Nak-dhin, nak space, din space, nak-dhin, one finger closed, nak-te, three fingers closed, tedhedhin, tedhedhin, tedhedhin. So you've never seen this before. This is te, then de, four fingers closed, then one finger closed with the guru playing twice there. Tedhedhin. Very cool. Nak-dhin, tedhedhin, nak-dhin-dhin, tedhedhage, tedhedhage, tedhedhage. Dheregena. We've learned all this. Go back to the videos. I'm not going to go over each technique. Tedhedhage, right? So you got tedhedhage. Dheregena is taking up two spots there. Tedhedhage. Tedhedhage. So the dheregena is not like crazy fast. It's not in one mantra. It's spread across the two there. So nak-dhin, tedhedhin, nak-dhin-dhin, tedhedhage, nak-dhin, 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 dheregena, nak-dhin-dhin, nak-dhin, dheregena. So that's the rest of it. Nak-dhin, 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 deregena, nak-dhin-dhin. Wait. Nak-dhin, 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 deregena, nak-dhin-dhin, nak-dhin, deregena. Something's written wrong here. Nak-dhin, tedhedhin, nak-dhin-dhin, tedhedhage, nak-dhin, 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 tereketa, nak-dhin-dhin, nak-dhin. Yeah, nak-dhin, 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 tereketa, nak-dhin-dhin. So this din-din I wrote wrong. I had the space between the din and the din, but it's actually nak space din-din, right? Nak-din-din, nak-din-din, nak-din, tereketa. So there we go. Okay. Always little things to fix. So nak-dhin, tedhedhin, nak-dhin-dhin, right? Nak-dhin, nak-dhin-dhin, tedhedhage, nak-dhin-dhin, nak-dhin, nak-dhin, tedhedhin, nak-dhin-dhin, tedhedhage, nak-dhin, 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 tereketa, nak-dhin-dhin, nak-dhin. So that's interesting. So the last part is nak-dhin-dhin, and at the start here, we've got nak-dhin, tedhedhin, nak-dhin-dhin. So then the space is between the nak-dhin-dhin, tedhedhage. So it's so subtle, like if someone teaches you this stuff verbally and doesn't write it out exactly like this, you know, this third part here is nak-dhin-dhin, tedhedhage, and in the second section it's nak-dhin-dhin, right? Nak space, din-din together. Above it, nak-dhin together, space din. So like these subtleties, if you get it wrong, not only are you going to go out of tall, but you miss the subtle nature of how beautiful it is just switching where these spaces are and stuff like that. So nak-dhin, nak-dhin, tedhedhin, nak-dhin-dhin, tedhedhage, nak-dhin, So anytime you go in nak-dhin, 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 nak-dhin-dhin, you always have that space. But where the first part, we've got nak-dhin, tedhedhin, nak-dhin-dhin, tedhedhin, totally different feel, and it changes. And then you go this nak-dhin, 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 then you pause in the nak. So get these right. Look over these very carefully and make sure that you're playing them properly and in tall, and your playing's going to be beautiful, you know? Dhinitini, dhagetini, 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 dhinitake, tereketa, geta, dhin, tedhedhin, nak-dhin-dhin, tedhedhin, nakdhin, deregena, nakdhin, deregena. Hare Krishna, so that's how you would use it as the Dhage, just like that. You don't want to play this one too quickly in kirtan because the nakdhin-dhin is very intense. Even if you can get through the Dhinitini, dhagetini at a quicker speed, the nakdhin-dhin is a little bit too quick on the second part there. So you want to play it when the kirtan's, you know, relatively slow, jata, teteta, really beautiful mantra. For this purpose, though, you really want to focus on the first part of the mantra in order to build that hand speed. So you do want to practice as quickly as you can get for the first part to get this dhagetadha. So you build up this bottom speed. And so you want to just keep playing that over and over and over so that you're able to use your hand on the top, get it nice. And the good way to get the balance I found after years of this is it's hard to find that dhageta, but really hitting the ta there is going to give you that balance for that bull jati of 3-3-2. Right? So we're already at 30 minutes, so I guess that's enough. We'll have there's a really cool hand practice coming up next, technique where you're doing something very different than we've done before and quite advanced in the top end. So we'll have a look at that. Yeah, lots of fun stuff to come. Okay, Hare Krishna.